So there's this story of Buddha that I've never understood why it's. I mean, I kind of do, but I never really understood why it's seen as this profound story, right? So it's the story of Amrapali, and I think I think the young monk in question is Ananda. Um, right. So Amrapali is the the Nagaravadu of the capital city of whatever that says. And for some context, what a Nagaravadu is sort of like a prostitute for very, very wealthy people, like kings, princes, this kind of thing. Um, Here it's speaking only of dancing and whatever, but I think it goes a little deeper than that. I think the concerns here are more directly regarding sex. Um, and there is this encounter between Amrapali and Ananda, I think, the young monk, right? Um, and she starts talking to him and introduces herself. Right? Why do you lead an ascetic life in your youth? And he says, in search of truth. And she's surprised by this. And she teases him. Um, what is the use of truth that wastes your youth? And he smiles and he says, uh, absolute happiness can only be attained, for the happiness you seek is transitory pleasure. Um, and then she keeps going and she says, to come and stay with her. Um, and then he says, well, all right, if my master, who was Buddha, agrees, then yeah, I will. But before he goes, he takes out a mango fruit and gives it to her and tells her to keep it from rotting. And then he comes back like a month later. Um, oh wait, yeah, yeah. And then Buddha says that he can stay with her, and everybody else is like, "What the hell? She's a prostitute. You can't let him do that." And she'll corrupt him, right? He's like, "No, I don't think that's what's gonna happen." Um, so he does. He goes back after like a month, and he says, show me the mango." And she brings it to him, but it's rotted, and she's like, what good is this to you? And he says, well, if you look at the seed is that's where everything really is, right? You can make a new more mangoes from the seed. You can make lots of more mangoes from the seed, right? And apparently, this is when she became enlightened to some degree. Because yeah, so he uses the analogy that the seed is the most useful, and it has the potential to regenerate a new body. A human being's meditation is never wasted, right? So the mango stone signifies the eternal soul. The protection of the soul is the real shield, and this is absolute happiness. Recognize this, and yeah. So, since she couldn't even protect this fruit, how's she going to protect her own body? Like all of the things that her life is dedicated to revolves around her own physical beauty, right? And this is apparently when she was enlightened of something. The term is always vague. What are you enlightened of? What do you, right? So, yeah, I think it applies here, regardless of what it was specifically that she was enlightened about. Um, and then she invites him to stay, and he stays, and they don't do anything. She ends up becoming a monk. She ends up coming back, and I don't see what's profound about this, to be honest, right? because, so like, the the problem is mostly regarding like all of the people who thought that the monk would be corrupted by her. But so as a heterosexual man myself, who is very attracted to lots of women, I interact with beautiful women all of the time that I can't have any sort of relationship with. This is just a normal part of life, right? So if I was in a situation where a beautiful woman invited me to stay with her for a while, it wouldn't be a problem. Like, I'm not expecting to get laid. It's not, like, I don't get it. I don't get the problem here. What? Like, she's still a person. Fundamentally, she's still a person. So, what the fuck? And if it's not consensual, then that's rape. So, you think the monk is gonna rape her? Like, okay. Like, I don't get what's profound about this. The thing that this is meant to, like, get you to realize or whatever is so basic that small children should understand this. The lesson that you learn here is something that an average 8-year-old should have figured out for themselves. Like, my basic expectation of how anyone interacts with anyone takes this into account, right? I don't fucking get it. How is this seen as anything? Like, what? And I think most likely, honestly, if you consider this situation, right? So the monk, he joined the life of being a monk, understanding that he's going to be giving up this sort of thing anyway, right? So why would he even be tempted by her? Honestly. Because he's made a commitment already that he's not going to be doing this. Long before he met her. Right? And she, like, the way her life works, mostly she sleeps with men for money. Monks don't have money. So as soon as he gives even a basic argument for why he's not going to do anything with her, that pretty much ends it, right? Also, who knows? He might not have even been heterosexual. He might not have even been attracted to women in the first place. He could have been asexual. He could have been gay. So this may never have even been the remotest temptation in the first place anyway. So the details of the story don't actually give us a good story. What are we doing? What the hell?